We're live.
And we're live.
Hey.
How exciting.
Okay.
Who's going to lead this whole discussion?
We have a couple things we have written down for prompts somewhere
Okay.
in this.
Maybe we
In
should
my
introduce ourselves.
where did it go?
Should we just introduce ourselves? I don't know who's watching.
Yeah,
Yes.
we should.
Okay, so I'm Rachel from Evil Clementine.
I'm Erica from Literation Books.
And I'm Johanna from Magic Bookshelf.
Okay.
And we're here to discuss this book.
Mine is.
Do you guys have your copies? I don't have my ARC.
I got both.
I have my
Ooh.
art lent out to someone right now, so I just have this one.
Oh, I have both?
Yeah.
I just reread the book, right before I came on this. So it's very fresh in my mind.
I reread part of it, but not all of it.
Oh, that's
so.
good, because it's really not fresh. I have some things like labeled and tabbed, but
Yeah.
I read it a while ago, like I think August. So.
Yeah, Erica and I read it back in like July or
Where's
June.
June, I think. I think it was right before ALA.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And I have lots of things highlighted, but it's just in the beginning part. So,
Should we start with just like general impressions of the book? What did everyone think?
sure.
Who wants to start?
I mean, we could,
Yeah.
I don't know who should start.
Erica, why don't you go first?
Okay. I obviously really loved it a lot. It's one of the main reasons why we decided to try to get people to read it in the read-along and things. I just think that it was mainly the language that just got me reading, and I don't know, I really liked the mystery of the narrator, and it was just very fresh, especially for a young author who's just maybe a couple years older than I am, or maybe about my age, I don't really know. And I had never read something of someone so young that was just something I considered brilliant, and I don't know. That's pretty much my overall thoughts.
Okay. Johanna?
Should I go? I can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
So, the reason why I really wanted to read this is because the publicist at Harper, one of the publicists, was really, her and I, we read a lot of the same contemporaries and love the same contemporaries, so she suggested this to me. And it seemed very If I Stay-ish in the whole narration and everything and being in limbo and all that stuff. I kind of guessed who the narrator was like halfway through the book, but I didn't feel that was like a big... Yeah, it wasn't really a big reveal for me, and it wasn't really the point of the book anyway, so I wasn't really that bothered by it. But initially, I was kind of not enjoying it as much as I wanted to, I have to say. I didn't really like the protagonist at all, but I guess after reading more and more and finding out more things about her, you kind of understand how she is and where the reason why she actually went and did what she did. So, and towards the end, I was just bawling my eyes out. So,
Yeah, me too.
I cried so much towards it. I was actually on a bus, and I was like just crying, and crying, and I had my sunglasses on, and I'm like, please don't let anyone see me cry. But I really, really liked it. I gave it 4 stars, and I love the timeline going back half an hour before to like 2 weeks before to after. It really worked really well, I feel.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, obviously, I loved this book. I remember Eric and I originally read it in a buddy read, and we're like supposed to read to a certain point, and then I couldn't stop. I just like kept reading. I was like, "Sorry, Erica, I finished the book." And I remember, like, I just sat down and read the whole book in like a day or two, and yeah, I've cried, and I just love the writing. It's very poetic and kind of inspires me to like write myself. And
Are you guys both
definitely,
writers?
yeah, I am.
And Erica?
Wait, I didn't hear what you said.
Do you guys write, or are you aspiring writers?
Oh yeah, I go to a arts high school and I take writing classes there.
Okay, so I'm the only one from like the outsider point of view. Okay. Continue, Rachel.
Um, but yeah, it definitely gave me some If I Stay vibes and like 13 Reasons Why, and Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver is like this beautiful combination of those books, which I really
The Mean
enjoyed.
Girl streak from Before I Fall. I agree.
Yeah. So because similar with the characters, I didn't like obviously the protagonist in Before I Fall, and I didn't like Liz at first. But then as the book went on, I started to sympathize with her, and started to actually appreciate her as a character.
That is very true.
Mhm.
So, are we going into spoilers now, or do you guys still want to stick to the non-spoiler section?
I'm
I
fine
don't.
with spoilers.
Sure.
Going to spoilers? Going to
Yeah.
spoilers. Time to spoil.
Okay.
I guess. What did you guys think of her best friend?
Um, that was Julia and Kenny, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I like was able to relate to Julia, I feel, more so than
Is
Kenny.
Julia the overachiever?
Yeah.
I forgot who's
Yeah.
who.
With she was had all the AP classes, and then she also had the drug addiction, which I thought was really interesting because I liked the portrayal of
That
this.
broke my heart.
Oh, I know. Like she obviously had so much pressure on her, like to be the best student, and as a result, she turned to drugs, and that was just really heartbreaking and like
It was.
relevant.
I think what really the scene that kind of broke my heart is when they first started. It was I think in the bleachers of their behind their school or something, and that's when they swiped I don't know, a packet of drugs from um, someone's bag. You guys
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
And that's when they first tried it, and then what's her name? Julia couldn't stop, and then she went for
Yeah.
seconds and thirds, and I'm like, oh no, this scene killed me. That's so sad. That's
Hmm.
how it started. I don't know. I thought that scene was really powerful.
Yeah, it was.
What else?
Yeah.
What about
I'm trying.
Kenya? Like, it's Kenny. Sorry, I said Kenya. That's so bad of me. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to remember. I know Kenny was on the dance team.
Hmm.
That's like
Oh
all I
yeah.
can remember right
Well,
now.
she had the abortion.
Oh right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, and she kind of let Liz tell her to get the abortion
Yeah.
rather than like
Yeah.
make that decision herself, which was really powerful as well. Because she was picking out baby names and she was kind of into the idea of
Yeah.
having a kid, and she got the abortion because like she just felt hopeless in that situation, and so she let Liz sort of
Yeah, because it was
make
like,
it for
just do
her.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Liz. I mean, I think that's why she, tried to commit suicide is because she noticed that she's kind of a bad influence towards
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's the thing.
Seems
Like, you
really
can totally understand why Liz wanted to end her life. Like, it makes sense, which is always scary because
Mhm.
you
like
shouldn't be able
ask for
to
help.
understand that. Yeah.
It's sad because like especially the scenes when she was home alone and her mom's always away and she's just alone at home. They're really sad. I feel like there's a
Yeah.
lot of scenes that kind of
Yeah, there's so much talk of like the silence that just like
yeah.
killed her
Yeah.
inside.
That's true.
What a sad book. Oh man, it's like bringing me down.
But I mean, I love the ending. I thought it
Oh
was gonna turn
yeah.
into like a bad ending, like a sad ending. But
Yeah.
like, I actually
Yeah.
didn't even believe it. I reread the last chapter more than once because I'm like, is it true? Is she actually alive? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
but then
definitely
I think
expected it to be sad.
I expected that she just, just died. That's
Yeah.
it. What do you guys have
Yeah.
written down?
There's like one page where you can find out if she, yeah, there's
Yeah.
only one page to work with that ending.
Right?
One
It's like
page
I'm
that
like,
gives
so
you a little bit of hope.
yeah, I'm like, so they're, they just drove up to their house and they're helping her walk into the house. I'm like, oh, so she's alive, and they're helping her, and she said yes. So she is
Yeah.
actually getting help.
Yeah.
That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah. And I really like it's hopeful but very open, and I like a lot of open
Very
endings.
open.
Yeah.
But I feel like
I think.
the teenagers stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say that definitely like one of my questions at the end of the book was oh okay, sorry, someone opened the door. Was if she told anyone that she had was trying to commit suicide because they thought it was an accident, like the whole book. And that was just one of my big questions. Not that there is an answer, but it's very interesting to think about.
I don't think she wanted anyone to know
Yeah.
it was suicide because I mean, her mom lost her husband, right, or something like that, and she didn't want her mom
Yeah,
to go back to the way she was before. I can't really remember exactly what happened, but it took her a while, right, to grieve for her husband or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he
She
like
kind of like
fell off
buried
the roof of
herself.
the house.
Yeah, and then her mom just buried herself in her work and stuff, and that's why she was such a bad mother to Liz.
I guess she didn't want to, give any more burden than what, the accident would have done. I don't know,
Yeah.
Hmm.
but I don't think she told anyone. I think she was very like it's mentioned more than once in the book that she wanted it to look like an accident.
Yeah.
What do you guys have in your notes? You said you have like a page of notes.
Yeah, we have a couple questions written down. I don't, not that there's much to say, but I definitely want to bring up Liam because I thought he was so cute.
I
Um,
feel like honestly for these books there shouldn't really be a romance.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not that there was a romance. I just thought he was adorable.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
his story, like with the when he quit band and everything, and like all the terrible things Liz did to
Oh,
him, I was like shocked. I wasn't expecting
has done
like
to him.
the fact that he was still in love with her was
Mhm.
like wow. But yeah, I mean, I don't quite like the idea of them being together like after the book ends. You know, I don't really think that's where it should go. Because he was sort of in love with her in a very unhealthy way. Like he didn't really
Yeah.
know her at all, and even though she treated him terribly, like he still held on to his love for her, and it wasn't really a healthy love at all to me.
Yeah. What is it? You're gonna go get her?
It's
Okay, that's fine.
horrifying what these girls did, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's like if you line up everything that they've done since they were kids, the girl that they tormented and bullied who ended up committing suicide,
oh my gosh,
and all the
yeah.
shaming, it's just really it's really bad. And honestly, some of these things do happen in high schools right now.
Yeah.
So it's horrifying
Mhm.
knowing that some kids are actually experiencing these things.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it, like, I feel like there were a lot of bad things that happened, like, in this particular high school. So, like, while all of those things, like, probably don't occur in every high school, like, the bullying does happen a lot, and it's just, like, scary to think that this is so truthful, because kids can be terrible.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
it's getting worse with the whole internet and like uploading everything online, going viral, all that stuff, which is what happened to Liam.
Yeah. Um, so the narration style itself, like with the narrative. Well, first of all, did you, like you said, you guessed who it was early on, like how early on? Because I had like a lot of theories, but it took me a while to actually get to the imaginary friend.
I think it was a scene when they were coloring with chalk in front of their house, and they
Yeah.
were wearing, I think, the same dress or something like that. So I'm
Mm.
like, she's her age, and she sounds like, I'm like, she sounds like her. I'm like, no, I think it is her.
Yeah.
So that's how
Um,
I thought. I didn't think it was exactly like. Actually, I thought. Wait, what did I think? Like an imaginary best friend. That's what I thought. She's
mhm.
an imaginary best friend that she made up.
Yeah, I think at one point one of my theories was like guardian angel sort of thing.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I remember
I'm
like
trying to
in the
remember all
box
of
art.
them. One
We
of
had
them was
a bunch
definitely,
of theories.
yeah, one of
In the
them,
beginning, I thought it was her father for like a
Mhm.
tiny, tiny beginning. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Would have been an interesting twist, I guess.
yeah.
For a tiny bit, like before I really got into the story and like was introduced to Liam, I thought like the boy in the hospital was the narrator because like
Yes.
they kept talking about just him sitting in the corner. So I was like, wait, is
Mhm.
this the narrator? But no.
It reminds me of a Cecilia Ahern book because I think the narrator was also an imaginary best friend. Well, it's technically her, but I'm just saying it was very similar. That's how I got that idea from. I'm like, oh, maybe that's the narrator.
Yeah, I was kind of comparing it to the book Thief, even though it's kind of different and they tell you like right away who it is and
Yeah.
stuff, but it's still like a not a real person narrator sort of thing.
Yeah. Um, I mean, what do you guys think the book would have been like if it had been narrated by like Liz herself? Like if it was in only her point of view or like her friend's point of view or something? Like I think this narrator was really important for the story, like to get that almost objective point of view, so we can see like that even though Liz thinks she's this terrible person, she deserves to die. Like she also did some good stuff, and you know.
I think it was a
I
good pick.
You can go ahead.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know if another narration would have been better. Like, there's nothing that pops in my mind where I'm like, oh, this narrator would have, you know, been better for the book. So I think it was a
Uh,
good fit.
It could have been done third person because it kind of sort of was in a way, but with
Mhm.
a but that would have been just a little less like
Impact.
magical almost, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it just felt like regular third person, but then like those snapshot sections where it was like very specifically like this narrator, is telling the stories about themselves and Liz.
Um,
That's when you actually started to get the sense that it was the imaginary friend.
Honestly, I was more interested in the way she divided the timeline and the chapters. Like, I didn't really focus on the
Yeah.
narrator. That's what I focused on. I don't like narrations or timelines that jump,
Mhm.
but I think it worked really well for the book. At the beginning, I was kind of frustrated because I'm like, no, I want to be in the after. Can we just like take a
Yeah.
moment and stay there? But I think it kind of built the story really well. So I really liked it.
I did too. I tend to get really confused and frustrated with books that like jump around,
Yeah.
but this book it just felt really natural to be jumping around and it just flowed really smoothly, so I wasn't really concerned with the other timelines that we weren't getting to read about while we were like in the hospital. I didn't really care about what was happening like in the past. Like I was fine with what we were experiencing at each section.
I almost feel like it was to the point where I barely noticed when we were jumping around. It just made sense to
Yeah.
me.
True.
What about the science stuff, like including all the physics
It's
throughout
a,
the
it's
book?
really funny because I'm in physics right now, so it's a
Yeah, me
little
too.
bit.
I didn't
So
think it was that strong, to be honest. I mean, I've taken a
Yeah,
couple of physics courses. I have an engineering background, but I don't think it was that strong other than the typical reaction. Every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction and all that stuff, momentum, force, all that stuff.
I just think it was pretty much like the really basic things that
Hmm.
almost anyone could get, and it just kind of added to the poetic language. It wasn't
Yes.
necessarily
yes.
necessary to the
Hmm.
story in any way.
Yeah.
Like,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, like there wasn't too much science or anything. Like it wasn't trying to be this book that shoved all these like references to physics down your throat. It was just sort of using this very natural concept in a
applying
creative
it.
way. Yeah.
Yes, just applying it to real life, which I did like. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the cover too. There's a lot of
Yeah.
math, geometry. Oh
That's really
God, I hate
great. I hate like all forms of math, to be honest.
I like calculus. I'm okay with calculus. I mean, I took 6 courses,
Uh,
so I should be okay with it.
oh my god.
Yeah, but I kind of really got excited because of that, because there was physics in there. I'm like, oh, I
Mhm.
need to read this book. Like, this calls for me. So that's
Mhm.
why I read it. But yeah, do you guys have favorite like scenes in the book?
Um,
Hmm. Let me flip through.
I mean, I really love just the opening because as like a literary person, it just really speaks to me. But otherwise, I don't really think I have anything that majorly stands out.
I think the one that does for me is when Liam went in to see her, and he just said one word, which was "why," on page 231.
Hmm.
I was like crying at that point. Like that's it.
Yeah.
All he said was "why," and that just got to me.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Like, why are you afraid of
Yeah.
being yourself? Why do you want to be unbreakable? Why don't you remember? Please remember the sky. Because I think that's when he saw her one time look up at the sky.
Mhm.
Like she looked very serene and like different from the usual.
I think one scene I liked was when I forget where it is in the book, but Liz shows up to Julia's house and then they go running and they like go
Yeah.
into the lake or whatever and then they just kind of like lay there and Liz looks really peaceful. Like I just thought that was a really nice moment that wasn't like Liz being mean to people.
That's true. I really like that moment too. I like those really serene moments, like with her running with her friend and her looking up at the sky, and
Yeah.
it just adds to the craziness, different from the craziness.
Yeah, and it makes you like Liz more than you would
Yes.
um,
Oh my God.
based on all of the terrible things she does.
It's really bad. I thought it was really bad.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Do you guys blame her mother, her absence?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I think to a certain extent, like her mother should have been more involved in her life, but also she was grieving the death of her husband, so you can't really blame her for not handling that grief well, I don't think. It's just tricky. And I hope that like now that the book like after the book ends, I think they'll sort of mend their relationship. But did you the part when it was like Liz's mom like just never hugged her again, like after that one time that
Oh
she tried?
yeah.
That just like broke my heart.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I feel
What
like
about
Liz
you?
actually just sort of, kept her distance. I feel if Liz needed her mom, all she had to do was tell her.
Yeah.
But her mom, I mean, I do kind of think that her mom should have tried harder, but at the same time, Liz is at that age when, oh, teenagers like to rebel. I don't know how old you guys are. I don't consider myself a teenager because I'm 23, almost 24. I don't
Yeah.
know how old you guys are. How old are you guys?
I've
I'm
been
eight.
18 for a
Yeah,
week.
we're both 18.
Okay, okay. God, I feel old. Um, so she's at that age where, some teenagers do rebel and they
Yeah.
want their freedom and stuff. So maybe that's why the mom kind of, gave her that freedom.
Yeah.
So I do feel like Liz should have just spoken up and told her mom that she needed her. I'm pretty sure her mom would have, stayed with her.
Yeah, I think it wasn't so much Liz's mom's fault as like their two personalities like
Hmm.
clashing. Like they both were so convinced that they didn't need anyone, so they didn't try to have a relationship between them. So it was kind of both of their faults.
I kind of think that at least in the beginning, the way that the mother is kind of just portrayed in a way is kind of stiff and kind of serious, and that kind of gives you an impression of her. There are ways that we see under that, and it's just kind of makes you think about her maybe in a more negative way. I don't know.
Yeah. Um.
Where is that list, Erica? Still waiting for that list.
It's in my messages, and I was trying to look through it, but I keep trying to listen to what we're saying.
A moment of silence.
Okay.
Maybe in the
Let's see.
meantime, Rachel, what are you reading now?
Well, I just finished this like a little like right before I started this live show.
Yeah.
But now actually it's right here. I'm gonna read The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian for a class for school actually.
Oh.
So
Mm.
have you read it?
Oh, okay, okay. I heard. No, I heard good things about it though,
Okay. Yeah, me too.
and it obviously won an award. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good sign. What are you reading?
I recently finished, as in the afternoon, The Forever Song by Julie Kagawa,
Okay.
which is the third book in that
Yeah,
series.
I haven't started it yet.
It's really good. If you didn't like her Iron Face series, I definitely
Read
recommend
it.
to read that.
I have been told to read all of her books, and so far I've read none of them. So.
I don't really I like the. I mean, I didn't like the Iron Face series. I only read the first book. I didn't like it, but I definitely recommend her Blood of Eden series trilogy. But I'm reading this
Right.
one.
Oh man, I really want to read that.
Gone
Me
Girl.
too.
Because I want to go see the movie with my friend, and we decided to read the book before going to see the movie.
Yeah.
So I have to see this. I have to read this really soon and finish it soon so I can go see it.
Yeah, I've been really wanting to read that lately, but I don't have a copy yet, so I have to like go buy that.
Yeah. What about you, Erica? What are you reading?
I just started Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire because I've been in this really weird slump.
So reread, right?
And it's kind of a weird situation for me. I was at the really young age when Harry Potter was really popular, so my mom read them to me. So
Oh.
I've heard them, but I've not read them myself.
Okay, okay.
So it's sort of.
I love Harry Potter.
So I'm at Goblet of Fire right now.
Oh my god, that's one of my
And
favorites actually of the series. Just to let you know.
Goblet of Fire is actually my least favorite Harry Potter book.
You can't tell me this. No
I
way.
mean, obviously none, like they're all my favorite because they're all great, but like the one I like I have the least amount of love for Goblet of Fire. The
I feel like
Triwizard Tournament just bugs me.
Are you kidding? That's the best thing about this book.
I don't know how it's like allowed in the wizarding world.
Oh man. For
I don't know.
me,
It's
ever
such
since the Goblet of Fire, like book 4 to 7, they're my favorite, and book 1 to 3 are kind of my least favorite. But I mean, I read those when I was 11, so maybe that's why.
yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the live
okay.
show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the only question that we had prepared that we haven't gone over yet was One second, I have it right here. Well, we've discussed this a tiny bit, but we didn't really go into it. Is Liz a likable character? Can readers sympathize with her? That sort of thing. We touched on it a little bit, but
You have the floor.
Okay. She, this is hard. Like, I don't hate her. Like, I understand why she acts like that, and there are a lot of people who act the way she does. I mean, and she did a lot of terrible things, but she also, like, realized that they were terrible and then tried to fix them. Obviously, her decision to kill herself was not the best solution, but again, those like moments we were talking about where she was just kind of like peaceful, I definitely sympathized with her. And she's in a bad situation, like with her home life that doesn't, I mean, she kind of doesn't have a home life because her mom's just never around. So just like with Before I Fall, like I started out disliking her, but then I grew to like her and understand her.
But I feel like, how can you be doing such bad things and like bullying people and not know that they're, you know, that they're bad? Like you can't,
Yeah.
bully someone, make fun of someone, and then pretend or think that, oh, they just didn't know that what they were doing was bad. But they did. It's always a conscious decision
Yeah.
to actually hurt a person. So she would definitely not have been a friend if she was like, a real person. I would never have been friends with her. Um, I guess I can understand her to some extent. I can't understand her actions, but I can understand, um, I don't know, her guilt because there's a lot of guilt in this book.
Yeah.
So I do understand her guilt, but I can't understand why it took her so long to finally realize that she's been spreading so much hate and negativity in this world. So I understand her. I did sympathize with her, like after the car accident and her her living situation, her dad dying in front of her eyes and all that. But it doesn't really excuse what she was doing. That's what I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that I don't like her, but I think I sort of just I guess I sort of sympathize her when she's in her bad parts, in her bad times. Like I want to help her when she's in her
Yeah.
lower points and that sort of thing. So at that, sort of,
I get you.
yeah.
Yeah. I am surprised that it did take her a really long time to kind of realize just how terrible she was being and how negative of a, a presence in people's lives she
But I
was.
think
Like,
she does know. I think she did
yeah,
know. She just bottled it down. I think she did know that she was doing this bad. She just didn't want to, let go of being, the popular girl, of being feared by people.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
I think that's the problem.
yeah. So like, why did it take her so long to sort of get past her need to like be popular and control people, that sort of thing? Like she held on to that for a really long time.
I think it piled
Um,
up, maybe.
yeah,
I don't know,
that's
like what
true.
triggered her, decision to, commit suicide. What did trigger it? Is it mentioned in the book? Like when did she make that conscious decision?
I
I think
think it
there was
was.
a specific thing that was mentioned.
Yeah, exactly.
Or-
But I think she was at home and then she wanted to go up and kill herself, but she's like, no, I can't take pills or something or cut myself. There
Yeah.
was a scene. I just can't remember it exactly.
Wasn't it
Well,
like she was in her basement drinking or something?
yeah, it was like after the New Year's party when she made out with Kenny's
Yes,
boyfriend.
I think that was maybe the last straw and
Yeah.
everything.
And I think that's exactly what she said. Like, it wasn't that action in particular. It was just that was the last straw. Like, everything had finally piled up. But she was
Exactly.
also just completely drunk in that scene, so the fact that she was like aware enough to make that that decision and then stick to it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
think it was 2 weeks ahead, right? When she finally made the decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks.
I think there's she said if I can come up with a reason to live in 2 weeks or something that she
Yeah,
wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
that was so sad, by the way.
Yeah.
And
Like 3 days, still no reason.
yeah.
Yeah.
She picked the date of her death, like so that it would be the same day that her
That's
dad
really
had died.
sad.
So her mom would only have one day to be
I know
sad.
that
And I
is
don't
just
think that's very sound logic. I
no.
don't think she's protecting her mom the way she thinks she is.
It feels
Yeah.
kind of deliberate, maybe. Like, oh, she died on the day of my husband's anniversary. That doesn't sound fishy at all.
Yeah, because I mean that's like a clear indication that it was planned. You know, you can't really pass it off as an accident. It's not just a coincidence that she died on the same day her dad had died.
What do
And I
you
mean,
guys think
how?
of the? Yeah, sorry,
No,
continue.
you go.
No, you go. Continue, continue.
Okay. But uh, like, how terrible is it, sort of, to know that she's gonna leave her mom behind, like, completely alone?
That's
Like,
so sad. I
that's
can never.
terrible.
Like, how can someone do that to their mother? I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, she gave you life. She brought you in this world, and then you just go and end it. It's just
Yeah.
really sad.
Mhm.
I was going to say, what did you guys think of the idiotic high school people? That they were taking her accident as an excuse to not submit homeworks or do the tests or whatever.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh, I was enraged.
people.
I mean,
I
we would
think
never be like
that's
this,
just,
right?
yeah.
Like,
That's just sort of an indication of like how superficial all of her friendships were. Like she really only had a few people in her life that actually cared, and all the rest of these people were just
but
like,
they're just classmates. Even if, let's just say a classmate, God forbid, got into a car accident, would you use that classmate as an excuse to not submit your homework or do a test or
yeah,
skip
that's
school? Like, where, like, what the hell? I was just so
yeah.
annoyed. I'm like, people, come on, why are you making this about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, like I don't think they should completely ignore the fact that their classmate is
Yeah,
lying in a hospital dying. Like they can't just pretend that's not happening, but they also can't use that as an excuse for their stupid behavior and like not taking tests or whatever. Like that's just bullshit.
I know. I was just really pissed. I think one of the teachers actually yelled at them, right?
Yeah, the pre-calc teacher or something.
Yeah, I
She,
think it's the one that Liz doesn't like.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I actually remember. That's good.
Yeah, that like got me really mad because I do know people that do have honest like emotional or like depression issues and just thinking that like just saying, "Oh, they don't have real issues. They just don't want to do their homework or something like that," is really terrible.
Yeah, so like what you're saying is like people who don't really have those issues, like trying to pretend they do, sort of, to like use that as an excuse. Like it makes it harder for the kids who actually are like distraught over her death to like receive the like treatment, sort of, the from everyone else.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know.
Sort of exception or whatever. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right. Anything
Moment of
else?
silence.
It's not. The thing is, it's not a very long book. It's pretty short.
I've
So
done like 4 or 5 live shows for contemporary books, and they never get past like 45 minutes to 1 hour because there's just not a lot of like I mean, I'm not, discrediting, authors who write contemporaries, but they're not as complex or, you know, um, well, not deep, but I mean, you don't have that much to say compared to like
yeah.
dystopians where you can talk about the world and the plot and
Oh yeah, there's so much to discuss there.
oh yeah. So, yeah. Anything else to add?
I think that's kind of it for me.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to our 2 viewers.
We
Oh,
also, okay, like I feel like kind of bad about how this whole read along like happened. Like in August, I had every intention of like making it really awesome, and
Yeah, me
then
too.
like September, just the whole month was just like crazy for me. So I've been so freaking busy, and like everything just fell apart. So kind of like annoyed at myself for
it's
not
fine.
doing this. Like I wanted to be like really active about it, but that didn't happen. Like I didn't read any books for fun in September. It was a bad
Aw,
month. Yeah.
school
High
getting in the way.
school. Oh.
School getting in
Yeah.
the way, as usual.
Yeah.
You guys read any like good contemporaries lately? I mean, I know you haven't read anything in September, Rachel, but
Hmm.
like maybe before that, just throw in some suggestions to people.
I'm
Um,
gonna open up my Goodreads.
that's what I'm doing.
Guys, if it was good, you should remember it. Come
I
on.
mean, it's been a
It's
month
been a
since I've read
month.
anything but Harry
Yeah.
Potter, so
That is good. I think that is good. Um,
I feel like I haven't read a lot of good books. Like
uh,
in August, I read Island of Happily Ever After, which was the best, of
mhm.
course. Um, but then I read a few books that I wasn't really that into. I did really enjoy The Unfinished Life of Addison Stone. That was really weird, but good. Um, so I recommend that one. You check it out. Erica, have you
that
read
one.
anything?
Um, it's kind of even August was really weird for me. I reread Anna, Lola.
Same.
Of course, those
Mm.
were lovely. Um, oh, it's really hard. I haven't really read any good contemporaries since like Landline,
Oh,
and that
wow.
was a
Also,
while
I
ago.
read that.
Did you guys hear of Rites of Passage?
I've
No.
That is an awesome
oh, the
book.
one with the dog tags on the cover.
Yes.
I want to read
I don't know
that.
if you guys can see that. Where is it? Where is it? It's right here.
Mm.
Oh wait, never mind. I can't show you that. That's weird. Never mind. But I'm just saying, like
Okay.
I have where it's right here. This
Mm.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing a video of you talking about it a few times.
more like raving about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read that. I read Kiss Kill Vanish, which was awesome. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but it surprised me and I liked it. And I read Don't Touch. I recommend those three.
Oh, I have Don't Touch. It's you can't see it. It's on my shelf there. I just got it like 2 days ago. So
Oh my
I'm
god,
glad to
I
hear that
want
you
it.
liked it.
So good. I love it. I recommend those three for sure.
Okay.
Funnily enough, they're all Harper titles. I'm not trying to advertise Harper titles, but it just came to be.
Yeah, I have a friend at Harper, so I have a nice personal connection, and I just got a big, beautiful box of Harper
Ah,
books.
the ones that have been circulating around the US bloggers. Ah, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, it's not even because I'm a it's like an actual like she's like a family friend, so
Wow.
I didn't have to.
So that's where you get all your arcs. I've been wondering.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I started getting arcs like before I was blogging. Because she just gave them to me. It's pretty great.
Oh yeah, sweet life.
Yeah. So I don't have to like I've never really had to request a lot of books from publishers because I already have a lot of Harper books.
I feel like this fall Harper contemporaries are really good. Last year, not so much. Didn't have a lot of good Harper contemporaries, but this year, How to
Yeah.
Love. I don't know if I think I see How to Love on your bookshelf.
Oh, yeah.
right?
It's
Right? Yeah.
actor. Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved How to Love.
Oh my God, one of my favorite books.
It was
So
fantastic.
good.
That one was
Yeah.
kind of a so-so one for me.
Don't talk to me.
Oh
I like read it and made all of my friends read it. Like
Same. Oh my
I
God.
loved it.
You know, she has a new book coming out, right?
No, I haven't heard that.
Oh yeah, you should check it out. It sounds
Okay.
really good. I will end this with one more recommendation that I always have to mention. Have you guys read The Sea of Tranquility by Katja
no.
Millet?
Yes.
No, but I've like seen you talking about it, I
Oh,
think, in your videos.
yes, I always do. Did you like it, Erica?
Yeah, I read it a long time ago, but I remember I saw it in one of your videos a long time ago,
I talk
but
about it all the time.
yes. So I kind of had to read
And
it,
you loved it,
and I
right?
liked it a lot. I think it was like a 4-star book for me or something,
Oh,
so
it's
it was
like,
pretty good.
oh my God. I feel like if you love How to Love, Rachel, then
Hmm.
you're definitely going to love The Sea of Tranquility. Just,
Okay,
just, just
I'm
trust me.
sold.
Trust. Trust.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I will stalk you until you get it and read it. Just so clear, so that we're clear. Okay.
okay, sounds good.
Okay. I have evidence, right? Okay, because this is like a live video.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
I'll haunt you. It's okay. Okay. You guys want to end this?
Sure.
Ending? No.
Bye.
Okay, yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye. That's
Thanks
it.
for doing this.
Thanks for
Yeah,
everyone
thank
who
you.
watched or is going to watch it later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Thanks for inviting me, guys. It was nice talking to you guys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, thank you for
Thanks.
coming.
No problem. Okay. Then
I'm
Bye.
stopping it now.
bye.